Hello and welcome to another Choski review. My name is Josh Cho. It's been a very long time since I did a review, so I'm really happy to be back. And I have a very special whiskey today to review. It's the Glenfiddich 18-year-old. And I thought we left off at the last 15. I think that this is the last sort of on the lineup of their general 12, 15, and 18-year-old, like most of the single malt Scotch whiskies out there. So here we go. This is the Glenfiddich 18 box, and it's very different than the 12 and 15. It's a rectangular shaped box, as you can see. I think the video that I showed with the 12 and 15, I had the box for the 15-year-old, and it's the same sort of shape as the triangular shaped bottle. So give you a little information on what's on the case. It says it's a small batch reserve. It's aged 18 years, and it's been carefully matured for 18 years in the finest Oloroso sherry. Oh, my favorite. I love sherry. And bourbon casks built by our own expert coopers. These casks are then matured in small batches for a further 3 months for remarkably deep, rich, and complex flavor. So this is 18 years and then additional 3 months to marry. I think that's what they're kind of suggesting, like getting those two separate whiskeys to blend together, the sherry oak whiskey and the ex-bourbon casks. So this is going to be quite a delight, since I really love sherry-influenced whiskeys, and 18 years is usually a great number in terms of the aging that I like in whiskeys. It's 43% alcohol by volume. There's a couple other things that it has. It has like a world's most awarded stamp of approval on the box. It's a nice feel too. The box has got a nice kind of textured. It almost feels like it's suede, or yeah, fake leather. Obviously, it's not leather. It's not nearly that expensive for them to produce a leather box, but has that kind of texture to it. Kind of like a very rough cardstock. It has a nice texture to it. It's a pretty cool box. I like the box. I like the color. I like the brown color and the gold embossing. And give you more information about this whiskey. It's got some text in the back. It says, after our whiskey has spent 18 years patiently maturing the finest Oloroso sherry and bourbon oak casks, Brian Kinsman, our pioneering malt master, personally hand selects just 150 exceptional casks, marrying these remarkably small batches together in large wooden tuns. I think I just said that earlier. Nurtured for a further 3 months, each of these individual numbered batches adds an unrivaled and award-winning richness, complexity, and depth. That sounds awesome. Glenfiddich 18-year-old is a perfect example of our signature style, one that's made us the world's most awarded single malt. Gives us some tasting notes, rich baked apple and cinnamon spice. I'm already really pleased to hear about that, complemented by robust oak notes that have deepened and mellowed over time. So that's basically all they have in this. It didn't come, I believe, with any other information inside the case. Just the bottle. Here's the bottle. It's a nice looking bottle. It's definitely, let me move this over here. It's not a bottle that has the same shape as the 12 and 15. It has it's a shorter profile bottle than the 12 and 15, and it's slightly wider at the base. And I think it's a nicer looking bottle. It definitely looks a lot more fancy. And it comes with a brown velvet sort of lid that allows the bottle to kind of sit nicely inside of it. If you wanted to kind of leave on the lid on it on the tabletop, it's kind of got a nice touch to it. Sure, I guess not too impressed with that, but in either case, let's just put this in the box and see if there's anything else on this bottle that I can read out. It does have a batch number, so I guess that's one of the things I read on Glenfiddich's site, is that they're meticulously sort of checked. Every batch that they create is cataloged. This is batch, I believe, if I'm reading this correctly, I believe that's an 8 and not a 3, so it's 8,808. That's the batch number that I have. And kind of has the same text of information on this bottle as it does on the case. It just says it's matured in the Oloroso and bourbon cask. So that's about it in terms of information. I guess the only thing I kind of heard about outside of the website was just a lot of people were mentioning about the richness in it and sort of making a comparison to the 15, but just a little bit more amped up on the apples. So I think I'm really looking forward to that. So the taste I get is that really dark, rich red apple, and then it has this nice transition to pears and other fruits, and then it gets really warm into the spicy notes like cinnamon and nutmeg. Really beautiful, really great stuff. The finish, I would say, is a pretty decent finish. Medium, maybe medium long. Really, really great. The texture, not too oily, but a very nice mouthfeel. Go for one more sip. Yeah, this is just like a really great apple intense whiskey with cinnamon. It's like a baked apple pie. It's great stuff. I'm gonna add a little bit of water, just a few drops, just to see if this thing will open up. Well, what it ended up doing on the smell is definitely made it less spicier, and the fruits are starting to emerge up much more. Oh, that's beautiful. It's so delicate. The fruits, there are a lot of different kinds of fruits that I'm smelling now. Okay, I get straight to the taste. Second one, or the one after the water. Wow. That's definitely nice. I do think that adding water helps it just a little bit. Not so much, I just added a very tiny little drop. I didn't want to drown it because it is only 43%, not a very high ABV, but I mean, certainly I think is good. 46 would have been better. Cast strength, of course, even better than 46. But definitely nice. I paid $80 for this bottle. I think seen it online for a little bit more, and if you can find it around $80, I would say it's a buy. I think it's worth trying if you like the Glenfiddich lineup. If you had the 12 and the 15, certainly I think the 18 is worth checking out. And I believe you can also sometimes find the sample packs. They come in 200 milliliter bottles. They're called the Trio, where it gives you the 12, 15, and 18, and it costs for something about half the cost of the 18. So if you see that and you want to try all three, I think that's worth purchasing. It's definitely a fair price, and you get to try 3 different types of whiskey, 3 different aged whiskeys. So until then, thank you for watching, and please leave any comments for me down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and cheers. I do kind of like the fact that, well, when they bottled it, they kind of left a little bit of this little string sticking out. Made it really easy for me to just kind of tear that open. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get rid of that top. Wow, that's really cool. It's a very nice thick foil on the cap. It's quite nice in how they packaged it. Wow, and I believe that's a wooden top of the cork. It definitely looks wooden and it feels wooden. It's a wooden cork on the top. That's pretty nice. That's actually really cool. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Ah, it smells great. Okay, well, there we go. I'm gonna pour some out. Okay, that's a nice color. I would say it's got definitely a amberish color to it. And honestly, I don't know if it's natural color. I have a hunch that it's probably not, and there's probably some amount of color adding E150 to the whiskey. And I only say that because if they don't if they don't label it on their box, I mean, there's really like no way of knowing whether they add